The fools in life want things fast and easy. Money, success, attention. Robert Greene. Friends, 10 to 15 minutes a day is what we ask. Devote that to learning how to read these charts. It will come if you will practice trade, if you'll spend 10 to 15 minutes each and every day following these charts, looking for weekly vertical crossovers, 2-day recrosses when they occur, and at times those 4-hour crosses. They can help also, but remember, the biggest movements are always going to be on the weekly chart. That is what we are looking for. And let's jump into these charts right now. Oh, we've got a great training for you. Also, follow that. Look in your show notes. You'll see the training attached. If you're not a subscriber, go to chartingwealth.com. Sign up for free, chartingwealth.com. Stocks down big for the day. How long you been waiting for this? I've been waiting quite a while. Remember, we don't care which way the markets move. We can deal with options. We can practice trade those. We've got great trainings on options. We put those out occasionally. 3-part series on options. We worked very hard on. You guys have given us stellar reviews and we really appreciate it. But you can practice put options when the market rolls over on any of these things, whether it's your favorite stock or ETFs. Now you might say not all stocks have options. Not all stock options are liquid enough. That is true. Those are several of the qualifiers for stocks that we would suggest you practice trade. Same with ETFs. You can always look with ETFs to inverse ETFs, such as the inverse of SPY is what? SH. SH is, and we're plugging that in right now, the short of the S&P 500. It goes up when the S&P goes down. So again, PSQ is the inverse of the Qs. There is TBF is the single inverse of bonds. Only thing is on gold, but the good thing is gold's going up right now. It's hard. There just is no good liquid ETF in inverse of gold. So we look to either not be in gold when it's going down or look to potentially options for you to practice in gold. Remember, not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. Want you to practice with us. But that training we've put out is inverse options. How to practice trade when markets are crashing, and we saw them crashing today, did we not? S&P 500 down 1.75%, NASDAQ 100 down 2.07%. Consequently, bonds up 1.56%, and look at gold. Isn't it beautiful? Remember that weekly vertical crossover? We were patiently waiting, and it took off over the last couple of days. Quite beautiful, up 0.68% first. Let's go to these charts, jump in on the weekly chart to gold. Look at that price blowing through both the weekly and the 2-day trend lines going down. Don't have a weekly vertical crossover yet, but at this rate, it could happen by the end of the week, though not all that. We don't usually see that happen. But again, if there's a systemic crash, of course it could. I don't necessarily expect that. Those of you who said, oh, I should have been in a practice trade on SH or puts on the S&P 500. No. Just be patient, my friends. Look at these charts. And we have weekly vertical crossovers. They typically go on for weeks and weeks at a time. Or, as we saw, we had a practice tradable condition. We did quite well in that when we had the crossover going down back on the 27th of September. We had a big down move that following week, which gave us the ability to jump into a successful practice trade, but it only went on for a short period of time and then rolled right back around. So again, we want to have confirmation. If it just bounces around and you're being dangerous and jumping in, then you're going to be risking a lot. So again, we'll let a trend set up. We'll follow that trend successfully in our practice trade. So we see big red down candle first day of the week. We'll just continue to watch, see what there is to see there. Of course, that 2-day chart, you saw where it tumbled over going down. And again, Friday was the last full candle. Monday just represents the first day of the week, but it is a doozy. Pushed through the 2-day trend line and all the way down to the weekly. Flipped over big time. Price percent oscillator and the derivative oscillator. Lots of stuff going on there. 4-hour chart. Look at that down movement in the morning. Bit of recovery in the afternoon. 4-hour already crossed over back on the 23rd. So again, big down in the morning, a little bit of a recovery in the afternoon as far as what we're seeing on the average pace movement. Those are Heiken Ashi candlesticks. We're down 1.75% on that S&P 500. NASDAQ 100 is represented by QQQ, down 2.07%. Wow. Again, we see a red down candle forming, still above the weekly trend line. Price percent oscillator heading down, derivative oscillator losing momentum. That's just first day of a 5-day candle, keep in mind. First day of the latest 2-day candle, pushing through the 2-day trend line, still above the weekly, trying to cross over. Now again, that crossover on this chart and the S&P and the NASDAQ one, well, on all these charts, it's just the first day of the 2-day candle, so that crossover is not confirmed yet. There's a big up movement, a reversal. You could pull right through that red signal line. You don't have a candle until you have a closed candle. Then you can call it. So again, you don't call it prematurely unless you want to get burned in your practice trade. Derivative oscillators lost a lot of energy. Again, that red down candle is forming. We go to the 4-hour chart, same thing. You saw it drop over hard in the morning, bit of recovery in the afternoon. Price percent oscillator spiking down like a hockey stick, derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. So lots of downward pressure in gold, but, and I'm sorry, in the stocks. Forgive me, not gold. Lots of downward pressure in stocks. We see the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 both with a lot of pressure. Neither one has crossed over going down yet. Leave stocks, go to bonds, bonds up. We see bonds up a big up candle forming first day. Again, trying to cross over going up. That's not in stone yet. Why? Because we've not ended the week. 4 more days of movement, and we do see the nice big candle popping above the Bollinger Band, so we see volatility increasing quite a bit. We go to the 2-day chart. What do we see there? First day of the latest 2-day candle, a booming way through the Bollinger Bands as they start stretching out. Price percent oscillator going up very quickly along with the derivative oscillator. Go to the 4-hour chart. What do we see there? Well, we also see strong up movement in the morning, a little tempered in the afternoon. So again, 1.56% up movement. Interesting. Maybe we'll have a weekly vertical crossover by the end of the week on TLT, which should give you plenty of time to do a successful practice trade on it, if indeed that occurs. Look how far down the price percent oscillator has gone. So again, we'll watch, wait, and see. Look at when we had that last weekly vertical crossover on going up on the on TLT. Look how beautiful that was. Back in late November, early December, went up for quite a long time. Lots of nice movement. So again, we'll continue to watch, see what there is to see, what we can learn there. Lastly, we go to gold, up 0.68% for the day. Like I said earlier, we had a weekly vertical crossover going back to the week ending the 10th of January. Didn't have a lot of movement that next week or the week after, did toward the end of last week. And again, nice to see things booming, going up. 0.68% movement. That is quite nice. High for the day, 149.32. Again, this is on our Heiken Ashi candlesticks. Price percent oscillator heading up. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Quite nice starting the week off. Now it's just the first day again of a weekly candle, 5-day candle. First day of the latest 2-day candle up nicely. Price percent oscillator, which had been sort of flat, started moving up toward the end of the week. Nice to see it going up again on that 2-day chart. Derivative oscillator still losing momentum. 4-hour chart. Lots of movement during the morning, tempered a little bit in the afternoon. So keep your eye on things. It was good to see things crossover going up back on Friday on that 4-hour chart. Folks, that's where we are as we end the day on Monday. Like we said, that special training, Inverse Funds, how to practice trade successfully when markets crash. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World headquarters. Buy our book. See the link in the show notes.